Rejecting a $30,000 pay rise. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's look at this article from the Financial Review because, well, according to the headline, it seems utterly insane. Workers rejected a $30,000 a year pay rise. Well, now their vessels getting shut down. Let's have a look at this. Shell to shut an LNG vessel after workers reject $30,000 a year pay rise, everyone. Now, these would be quite tough working conditions, but 30 grand is 30 grand. It's not a deposit for a house in Australia, but it's a portion of a deposit for a house in Australia. It's 30,000 7-Eleven coffees. So, you won't scoff at that, not for the average person. So, Shell will completely shut down its Prelude floating LNG vessel within days in response to unions escalating industrial action over pay, threatening further disruption of the global gas market. The offshore alliance, made up of 150 union members earning more than $200,000 a year, informed Shell at the weekend that workers intended to ban mooring tankers alongside the vessel as part of their protected action this week. Well, that's more than a 10% pay rise, guys. 30 grand if they're earning 200 grand. What's it, 15% pay rise? In a country where wage growth has been stagnant. Here's the thing. 200,000 may sound like a lot and 30,000 may sound like a lot, but this would be shit work. It'd be tough work and it would be remote work. And you're not going to, it's not like Star Trek. You're not there living with your family. So we got to see two sides of it. I think that, the union may be destroying jobs here with these demands, and 15% in 1 year, depends on how long they haven't got pay rises for, but still, everyone. So, the bans would effectively prevent Shell from unloading LNG and LPG from its storage tanks, which are expected to reach full capacity within the next 2 days. The Prelude, which has the capacity to produce 3.6 million tons of LNG a year, told customers on Monday it would be unable to supply cargoes until at least July 21. It is understood to start the shutdown from Monday's night shift. The shutdown comes as the global LNG market is super stretched because of countries shunning Russian gas after Moscow unleashed war in Ukraine and disruptions at other LNG export plants, including a fire last month at Freeport LNG in the US. However, the alliance, made up of the Australian Workers' Union and Maritime Union of Australia, blamed the disruption on Shell's aggressive bargaining tactics. If they're now struggling to offload millions of dollars worth of LPG, they only have themselves to blame, said Offshore Alliance Coordinator Zach Duncliffe. This situation is typical of the long history of inept management at Shell's Prelude facility. This situation could actually be resolved very easily if management simply drops its strange, hyper-aggressive industrial reactions tactics. Shell was not immediately available for comment, but it is understood to have sought a meeting with the union. While workers have been enforcing bans and stoppages since June, Shell still managed to export one LNG cargo over the weekend after unions downscaled their action. The company had also ramped up production at the massive vessel to 95% output from the 35% since the start of the action. But the mooring bans are harder for the company to work around. The shutdown comes as 95% of voting workers rejected Shell's enterprise agreement offer, despite a proposed pay rise of $30,000. The increase involved a lift in workers' offshore allowance to $119,000 and an increase to the commuting allowance to $10,000. Prelude workers are on individual agreements and complain they are paid less than Tier 1 companies and that Shell constantly changes their conditions without consultation. While the company says total salaries average $250,000 to $280,000 a year, the alliance said no one in the union knows anyone who is earning $250,000 or more. The average base salary of union members is $125,000, and with the current commuting and offshore allowances, about $225,000 in total, the union says. The company's EBA offer includes a minimum base salary as low as $84,000. Okay, I mean, here's the thing. These are good pays. These are decent amounts when you include all the loadings. You know, $250,000, $225,000. These are decent six-figure amounts. And you could sustain a household on these incomes quite easily. But you're working in literally the middle of nowhere. You're working in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, we got to keep that in our mind when we're thinking, oh, look at this money. These workers are so bloody greedy. But, you know, that's the reaction. Honestly, that's what the reaction when I see to that. But shit, I mean, would you want to work out there, guys? I mean, I would much rather, you know, work from home, have my family around me, be able to go get the food I want, relax. I mean, each to their own. I mean, some people would love the cash. And you'd hope they'd be building up bank and investing it and building reserves and not just pissing it all away. So, while pay is a key issue, the unions are also demanding job security protections to prevent the company contracting out full-time jobs. Mr. Duncalf said the punitive non-union EA that management put to employees was either a bizarre IR tactic or a sign they are catastrophically out of touch with their workforce. Either way, they wasted 2 weeks on going through the process on a proposed agreement that was supported by 1 in 20 workers, when they should have used that time to actually negotiate with the union in good faith, he said. Workers are only rostered on the vessel about 40% of the year, but work 3 weeks straight at a time and could do 12, 14 shifts. So wait, 40% of the year, 12, 14 hours. So it's tough work. 3 weeks on, how many weeks off? But still, that's 60% of the year you're not working. I mean, I bet you there would be people lining up left, right, and center that would happily take a job like this. This is why the unions need to keep their stranglehold on it. You know, they don't want anyone getting on there. You got to limit access to it, limit access to these plush jobs. And, yeah, well, let's have a talk about this one. What do you reckon, guys? Who's in the right or wrong? I mean, we're only getting a touch of it from this article here. And the amounts of money that they're earning seem quite good, but, well, the conditions that they're working in are frankly pretty shit, to be honest, working out in the middle of nowhere. I know with a lot of the fly-in, fly-out workers, you get workers out in the mines. There's a lot of mental health issues, and, well, you don't get to see your family. For a young bloke, this would be perfect. But for someone with my age, with kids that are toddlers, you kind of don't want to miss out. You know, what are you sacrificing to work there as well? So, I mean, there we go. Let's hope jobs aren't lost. Let's hope a resolution is addressed quicker. But somehow I think all of this is just going to lead to greater pushes for automation, and people have to realize there's going to be a lot of other workers that would love a job like that. At least, well, maybe the fantasy, but they'd love the money of it. Maybe not the work. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I discuss and find here, and thank you to the viewer who sent me this article, there are a few ways you can help out. You can financially support us via YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, AussieBroadband, and others. Buy our merch. We've got pocket squares, which I know... I know it's pocket squares, guys. I haven't gotten Steins made. I'm not buying any stuff to get brought in until I get the house finished. This was what we made for the 10,000 subscribers that we could make ourselves. Okay, that's why it's pocket squares. Anyway, we're also architects. Give us a call if you need any architectural support. Otherwise, take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. 200 grand, though. I guess, you know, I think it's the young man's job, honestly. I'd miss the kids too much. It wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be worth it.